Hello, everyone. Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel. Welcome to another video in which I am doing a deep condition and talking about a topic. Before we get into today's topic, I am using the Ajwa Beauty Melon Berry Deep Conditioning Mask. I have a whole video on the Melon Berry collection, so I will link that both in the description box and at the end of the video so you can check out that and get more information on the deep conditioner. The topic that we're talking about today, we're talking about the formula changes that may or may not have happened with Uncle Funky's daughter. Now, let me tell you how we got here. I was scrolling around on TikTok and I came across a video from a lovely young lady in which she was expressing frustration at how the shea moisturification of things causes the formulation of a product that is beloved and loved to change. And then it does not work as well as it used to. In this specific example, she was talking about the Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic Gel. And she was frustrated that it just no longer seemed to have the hold that it used to have. Now, if you're not familiar with the Shea Moisturification, Shea Moisture is probably one of the earliest instances of, for all hair types, being put onto things that were previously more so marketed towards natural hair. So Shea Moisture had this campaign about breaking down the aisles and saying that Shea Moisture products and Black hair care targeted products at all, why do they have to be over in this little section over here? Let's break down the hair care aisle walls and put the products over here where all the girls can enjoy the products. And we can go as Black people to this section where they have the hair products, and there will be hair products for us as well. Why are we segregated in this way? That was the whole messaging of this campaign. Naturally, Black folks was like, no. And we see what you're doing. You're trying to water down these formulas to make them appeal to people outside the Black community. You're just trying to make money. And it was something that was like, we rebuke it. Okay. In the name of natural hair, it did not go over well. And so this TikTok creator was basically comparing the perceived change in formula of the Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic to the change of the formulas of Shea Moisture. And despite me going into detail and explaining that, y'all, that's not what I'm talking about today. That is not what I want to talk about. My first thoughts when I first saw this was, did Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic ever really have hold? Was it ever really a girl that gave hold? And also my other thought was, does she really know the original formula of Uncle Funky's Daughter? Because the Curly Magic product has actually changed in formula a couple of times that I'm aware of. And who knows how many other times total that it has actually changed. Yes, let's get into it. So Uncle Funky's Daughter was originally a salon opened in 2003 in Houston by Tanya Goff. Over time in the salon, she started, trying out her products, and Uncle Funky's Daughter as a brand launched in 2008. One of the star products that a lot of us associate with them, in addition to some other stuff like Midnight Train and stuff like that, a lot of people associate the Curly Magic hair gel with them. Now, Tanya went through a divorce, okay? And I think even at one point, as a part of the divorce proceedings, I think like an outside entity was running the company instead of Tanya while they were trying to settle everything that was going on. So I think as a part of divvying up the assets in this divorce, Uncle Funky's Daughter had to be sold. So in 2014, the current owner, Renee Roden, I believe is her name, Renee became the new owner of Uncle Funky's Daughter. And I don't believe, sifting through stuff from the past, I don't really think that this was like a very loud or noticeable shift in ownership. I don't really think a lot of people knew that Tanya was no longer the owner and that Renee is the new owner. And by the way, because I know some people are already wondering it, Renee is a Black woman. Okay, so it went from a Black owner to another Black owner. And that would not be the last of us hearing from Tanya. Tanya, the original owner, went on to start a new brand called Hello Curly. I should have looked up when Hello Curly was started. My bad there. I'll try to annotate it on the screen. But she did go on to form Hello Curly, and Hello Curly does have a product that is supposed to be the original formula of the Curly Magic, and their product is like Hello Curly Curl Stimulator or something like that. And that product, we will swing back around and talk about that as well. Moving on, let's actually talk about these potential reformulations that may or may not have happened. So formula change number one that I think may have happened was post-sale. I think people were like, something is different here, something's different in the water. So that's number one. Now, some interviews and things like that I could find online. I believe that when Renee purchased the company, she got the current formulation of the Curly Magic along with archived formulations. Huh? Which means that this product could have been reformulated or perfected, fine-tuned a couple of times, and those were archived before this even happened. Okay, but I'm not going to count those because I don't really know. I'm not sure. I do remember people complaining about Curly Magic being different, though, back in the back days of 2014. So that's number one. Number two, they said, hey, we're bringing the formulation back. I remember this messaging like, yeah, we're bringing back what you know and what you love. We're changing it back. So that's number two. Then there was this kerfluffle about undisclosed ingredients or ingredients that don't need to be included on the label or something like that. So I think there may or may not have been some sort of reformulation, maybe a silent reformulation and the label caught up. I don't know, child, but that could possibly be a third reformulation. And then the TikTok that I saw was probably from the last couple of months or so. So there could have possibly have been a change that this person is perceiving. So we're looking at a possible fourth formulation change that we know about. I actually think that it's probably more than that. But I cannot sit up here under my dryer and firmly say that they've had more like this many changes. But I think it's about 4 formulation changes. So if you are at any point complaining about the formulation change, when did you start using it? Because do you know the original formula? I don't think a lot of us do. Unless you were an OG 2008 or sitting in the salon in 2003 user of Curly Magic, you may not know the original formula at all. So I thought it would be interesting to take a walk over to the Hello Curly Curl Similar product page. I want you guys to notice how they describe this product. And reminder, this is probably the original formula, the day one formula or the perfected formula at the time of the sale of the Curly Magic from Uncle Funky's daughter. Okay, so they said our award-winning firm hold curl defining gel is formulated with nourishing aloe vera and marshmallow, the perfect remedy for frizzy tangled curls. Now, pay attention to the second paragraph. Moisturizes and defines medium to loose curly strands without leaving it crunchy or flaky. So they're telling you that hair won't have no crunch, okay, and it's medium to loose curly strands. Then it says works well to maintain definition on tight curls that have a visible curl pattern when wet. So if you have a curl pattern when wet, this is for you. If not, not for you. And then it says but dries with a kinky afro texture, meaning it is not going to dry for type 4 girlies with defined curls. They are telling you this on the description. Okay? And I will put up here on the screen the ingredients if you're interested, and maybe I'll put up I'm not going to put how to use because something on their page is actually just showing like more ingredients or something. So I will put up the ingredients though on the screen so you can look at it to see if this matches something that you know or what have you. Now, I think that the main association of Uncle Funky's daughter, Curly Magic with hold came about during the whole Black Girl Curls 30-day hair detox era. This is when they were mixing this product with other gels that have more hold, a layering effect to get that level of hold and that not get that afro look on tight curls. So I think that's where the association came into play. But it was used as a base, y'all, like more like a leave-in to just trap and catch water. And you can get the same effect by actually using a leave-in and then kind of trapping water with it. Not every leave-in works with it. You're going to have to play around to see which one you can get to do this. But that's what they were using it as. Not really as something for a hold. And for me personally, Uncle Funky's daughter, Curly Magic, has never really had much hold, which is why I ask you, does this product have a lot of hold for you? Can you define your hair? I'm not talking about layering. Define your hair and keep hold with Curly Magic. And if so, what is your hair like? Is your hair like the original descriptor of the Hello Curly Curl Stimulator? I'd like to know. If you are curious, I'm going to link my Uncle Funky's daughter video where I am using that Curly Magic gel. And if you want to support a sister, an ultimate way that you can support me is to go to my channel and click on a recent video that you haven't watched and give it a try. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you in the next one.